Happy sunny day, Paul. How you doing?
Yes, I am. I'm a little fatigued today. I was in Switzerland, in Basel, on Tuesday and Wednesday, and it was a great pleasure. I was delivering some training to some marketeers from Roche about strategic presence and influencing. But just the 1 hour makes a difference because you have to get up that extra hour early,
Yeah.
and then you're doing a bit of prep in the evening and all that stuff. And then I was up super early today. So yeah, I'm feeling a bit fatigued. I mean, there's still lots of excitement, but I'm just a
Yeah.
little bit
Little bit drained.
ragged at the edges. Yeah.
Have you got a weekend that you can chill out a bit or not? You're gonna be working. You're gonna be working a bit.
Well, yes, because I've got some holiday coming up starting Thursday. I think I'm going to have
Nice.
to put a shift in this weekend. So I have got activities planned, and of course it's Father's Day, as we know.
Yes. Yeah.
So I've got stuff with the family, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be a busy weekend. But the thing is, you can sleep when you're dead, Warren. So it's all right.
Exactly. Exactly. There's plenty of time for rest, isn't there? I mean, saying that, got to make sure you don't overdo it. But
Yeah,
exactly, it's
yeah.
all
And
good
how
stuff,
how
right?
about you? Are you super chilled out and relaxed?
I'm a bit chilled. I'm looking forward to the warm weekend, hopefully, with the family. There's been a lot going on with myself as well. Actually, I'm in the midst of doing the judging for the Marketing Week Awards online.
Get
So
you?
doing the online part of that, which is really super interesting and great. There's a lot. There's a lot to go through. I feel very privileged actually to read through a lot of them. They're really good. And then we've got the in-person judging in a couple of weeks. So enjoying that. Just a lot to fit around, doing that in the evenings and then not working the day. So it's busy, but it's all good. And then there's the World Cup, right? So been enjoying that as well. Well, I can catch games and stuff. So
Yes. Is it a sin that I missed the first half of the match on Wednesday because I was coming back from the airport, and then I decided I would go to bed on the grounds that I was knackered, and whether I was awake or not, the result would be the result.
do you know what? It's not sin. I was coming back from, in the last Euros, I was coming back from Benidorm. Long story there for another day, maybe. From Benidorm in a bus. We're going to the airport while England were playing Slovenia, I think. And we were on the verge of going out, and Bellingham scored in the last minute, overhead kick. And I was trying to listen to it on my phone or watch it on my phone. So it's not a sin. Things happen, Paul. Life gets in the way.
Yes,
There'll be other games.
there will
There'll
be
be
other
other
games.
games.
I
Yeah.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
And just on that note, so have you watched any of the World Cup, Paul? Have you been catching any of it?
I watched the 10-minute highlights of England 4, Croatia 2,
Yeah.
and I watched through the sort of side of my eyes because it
Yeah.
was on a screen in a bar. I watched a bit of West Germany. I keep on saying West Germany. Shows how old I am.
Easily done.
Germany
Yeah.
versus Curaçao. So I think I left that one when they were 3-1 ahead, which obviously I think it finished 7-1, didn't it?
Yeah. It's a bit of a pasting, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. How about you?
Listen, yeah, I've watched quite a lot of it actually. I must admit, and I know a lot of people have spoken about this, there's probably nothing new to say on it, but the hydration breaks well, they're not hydration breaks, they're advertising breaks, really. They're just bizarre. Like you've got games that are played in air conditioning stadiums and you've got hydration breaks after 23 minutes, and it's so obvious what the game is, in that with FIFA are just trying to make
Well,
money.
hang on. So you're suggesting that FIFA cynically have taken advantage of the ostensible nature of the conditions to
Yeah.
schedule more advertising breaks. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. I might be saying that. Yeah, I might be saying that, Paul. I think, is it a stretch? Is it a
How?
stretch?
I mean, it just seems completely out of character for that organisation. But you're a better
We-
judge than me.
well, when we kick this podcast off, I think the subject matter was FIFA actually in one of our first ones and the launch of this World Cup. So we've come full circle a little bit. But yeah, I'm being cynical, but it does feel like it's not. I think that's when, advertising can overstep the mark, when it's kind of dipping into the actual game itself and really disrupting it. And it does feel like that's a step too far to me.
Yeah, so the,
In
the,
terms
the,
of,
the the irony is, of course, if you're from the US, it probably feels like there's fewer adverts than you usually get because they're used to games that get interrupted
yeah,
every 45 seconds, I think, with
yeah, exactly.
breaks.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I should say, I don't think our broadcasters like ITV, obviously the BBC aren't, but the ITV aren't advertising in that break. I think they might be advertising competitions and things, and they don't go to an ad break. So
Yeah.
fair play to them. But I mean, maybe at the next World Cup they will. I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting. And Did you see as well, Paul? Did you see that great example? So one of the things they can't do, ironically, at these stadiums, because they've got lots of sponsors and advertisers that they are linked to FIFA, they can't have the sponsors for the stadium that are on these American stadiums featured
Right.
on the stadium. So there's I think there's one for Mercedes, like the Mercedes Stadium. I can't remember what the stadium's called. There's a Levi's sponsorship. Did you see the Levi's logo get covered over with a sheet? Can't remember exactly where it was, but it got covered over. But Levi's, to their credit, used that really well, because what you could see was the distinctive shape of the Levi's.
These sort of, how do
Yeah.
you describe it? Sort of like a bat wing type.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
batwing. And they've used that and they've put that kind of covered over version of their logo as all their logos on their social media pages. They've used it everywhere. They've done videos of covering up their logo in other places, on shops around Carnaby Street. They've just gone all out to town. It's really, really, really clever,
Oh, clever. So they've
reactive
created almost
marketing.
like a new distinctive asset,
Yeah.
or double down on the distinctive asset they've got.
And doesn't it just prove the point of how important distinctive assets are for brands? If you've got a distinctive asset and you can get your logo covered up but still recognize it and the shape's still clear, people recognize that, you're on a winner.
Yeah.
And actually, I was going to ask you, Paul, what other logos could you cover up and still recognize? I mean, there's probably quite a lot, but
Well, that's a good question. I'm just looking at my desk. That's also quite helpful. I've got an HP laptop. I don't know, maybe if that was done in relief and
yeah,
covered up, maybe you'd recognize that with the H going up and the P going down.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Give you
That
that one.
might be one. I mean, BMW, I don't have a BMW on my desk, but BMW wouldn't work, I guess,
No,
because it's just a circle.
anything circular, Starbucks, BMW, I think you're on a loser. You're not going to
Yeah.
recognise that, are you? Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Nike.
Nike, yeah, I mean, that would be, I don't know how they'd cope with that, because covering it would make no difference, would it? It'd just be a
No, that's
different colour.
true. That is the ultimate distinctive asset in a way, isn't it? Bit like Apple. Would Apple? No, you would, wouldn't you? Because it'd be the leaf. No,
Yeah.
maybe not. I don't know.
The thing is, I'm guessing that for the next World Cup, there'll be something about when you cover your logo, you have to do it in such a way that you can't distinguish your logo
True.
even though it's covered.
Yeah, they've missed a trick, haven't
Mm.
they? I wonder if they've upset any of their sponsors. I suppose other brands where you couldn't do that. So you said BMW, Starbucks. I thought Amazon you probably couldn't. Spotify, because it's just circular.
Yeah.
At YouTube, Netflix. So there are ones out there. But yeah, it's just interesting that some assets are so distinctive you can do whatever you like to them, and
And it's a
you can
good
still
test,
recognise
isn't it? If you remove the branding but keep the shape, does it still work?
maybe we need to do that for the marketing shed, Paul. We need a logo that's so
Shed life.
distinctive you can cover it up. The sheds. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, a dilapidated shed with us inside it. Yeah. Well, yes, let's get to work on that. We've got the budget, haven't we? Or
So
we've got ChatGPT.
so lessons to any marketers out there: make sure your brand assets are distinctive. Look at Levi's as the example. I think it'll be used for years to come as an example of why logos and sort of brand signals are so important.
Yeah. Kudos to Levi's.
The other thing that's irked me a bit actually. Paul,
Irked you?
yeah, it irked me. I don't know whether this is a lesson or
Or just
it's a
you being
piece of
grumpy?
yeah, always me being grumpy, or I'm a focus group of one on this, so there's obviously some insight that Butlins are using for this, but there's a Butlins ad out at the moment. What's it called? It's called "Swap Boring for Fun." The ad portrays families going on caravan holidays, looking bored in the rain. So it will show the clubhouse entertainment being poor, the like them outside in a tent with the rain blowing sideways, just unhappy imagery, and then contrasting that against them having fun at Butlins. And I just wonder what the insight was behind that, because we go on caravan holidays as a family, and cost of living is a thing, right? So families are finding things tough. They're looking for cheaper holidays to go on, staycations, etc. Because going abroad or going to places like Butlins even might be a bit pricey. And there are only so many Butlins in the UK. So I think it irks me and my wife, because we enjoy these caravan trips. We don't want our kids to see this advert because we're taking them on a caravan trip. And she didn't make me want to go to Butlins. It just made me a bit annoyed with them. So there must be some insight behind it that says people see that and think, oh, yeah, my caravan trip's really boring, rubbish, and I could spend a bit more going to Butlins. But there will be other people, surely, that think it's unaffordable. You just totally disrespected the holiday I go on. So, yeah, it's just an interesting one around. There
It
must be
is.
insight, but it will annoy a lot of people, I think.
Well, I think it's interesting that I thought you were going to say you were annoyed because you didn't buy into it.
Yeah.
And you know, you're well within your rights to do that. But it's interesting you were annoyed because it might give your kids the wrong impression.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and that then puts pressure on you. So thanks a lot, Butlins,
Yeah.
for you know, making them
And maybe that's,
falsely, in probably our shared opinion, feel they're onto a lesser thing.
yeah.
I wonder what friend of the podcast, Andy Leduc, would think of that. Andy, I worked with Andy when he was at Travelopia. He's now at the, I think it's the Motor Caravanning and Camping Club. And I think
Yeah.
they'd be all over that. That's probably where they
Well,
can do a bit of a viral response.
wise, yeah, someone should be, and maybe someone has. I need to do, maybe I just did a bit more research on that. But jump on that and say, and show the other side, right? Show how exciting it is and
Yeah.
how fun it is.
Yeah. And also to your point, marketeers, think about the impact of what you're doing on other people
Yeah.
before you go ahead with your smart advertising.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like they've overthought that ad, and they're trying to be sort of a bit opinionated, divisive in some respects to show the contrast. But actually, I think there's a line you can cross. I've not seen any outrage over it. I did look it up. There's no one kind of kicking off over it, just me probably. But
Well,
maybe it's subconscious and people aren't kind of ranting and raving about this.
Well,
But
I tend to think if you're getting irked by it, then the rest of the population, I think, is struggling to know how to control their rage and how to respond. Because, you know, you're a very mild-mannered person and this
yeah,
has
exactly,
really annoyed you, quite
exactly,
rightly, in my opinion.
exactly. Thanks, Paul. I think, yeah. So that's what I've been thinking at over the last week. Have you had anything, Cole, that you've been seeing or
Well,
thinking?
no, and yes. So
Yeah.
I saw a little clip on YouTube a day or two ago, and is about a fella who had invented a very narrow field of vision goggles, which were essentially two thin pipes that came, you know, in front of their eyes, and they had sticks on the ends, so the pipes didn't collapse. And so all the person could see is this tiny little field of view. And the reason they did it was so they weren't bombarded with advertisements and promotions as they went on their commute.
I
So
love that.
they walked
Yeah.
around, you know, with these pipes. Now, I thought that's very interesting because I feel like I've been wearing those goggles because for the last 2 weeks, I've been super focused on some really interesting but quite demanding work
Yeah.
deliverables. And also in my personal life, there's been lots of things going on, big birthday and lots of things. And I don't think I've seen anything when it comes to marketing communications. And that to me gives me a sense of how difficult it can be as marketers to get in front of your
Love that.
audience with your message. I mean, how tricky. I couldn't recall a single ad, a single promotion over the last 2 weeks.
I have weeks like that where we come to this podcast and I think, what have I seen? What have I learned? And you're absolutely right. When you're busy and you're on your day to day, you've got your head down and you've got work after, project after project going on. It's really hard to get your head above the parapet generally, but equally, like you said, trying to get someone's attention when they're like that. Your point is proven, right?
Yeah, and I
So
think it says. I mean, you know, it's rare for me to be in that situation, and it's not ideal because it's you know I'm too busy. But it shows that however hard you try as a marketer, there's always going to be people who, at a point in time, are going to be unreachable, and probably one just has to accept that, and then wait for them to come back into public life and be open to the messaging.
yeah, 100%. I do like your idea about these goggles that that block out the ads. It's almost like the anti Meta Ray-Ban glasses, isn't it? It's
Yes. Yes, they don't look at all weird, honestly. I mean, you know, they're completely natural and very practical as well.
yeah, yeah.
But kudos to the person who invented them because they're genius.
I'll tell you one more thing that crossed my mind that I think needs to come into real life, Paul, is me and my wife sometimes we struggle to get babysitters, we struggle to get out of the house. Sometimes you can't get a rest. I think there's something missing from the world that enables parents just to go and have a sleep somewhere. This is just one of the little ideas that I've had over the last few weeks where, you know, you don't want to go away anywhere, but you just need to catch up on a break. And you might not have the childcare. Parent pods.
Parent pods.
Parent pods, you know, just a small pod that you can sleep in for a few hours, get some rest, get out the house so you're not disrupted by the kids. Because, you know, you can go to sleep in your room, but you're damn sure the kids are running in that room or banging on the door at some point. So if one of the parents can look after the kids and the other one can pop out at low
Yeah.
cost. I think there's something in that.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. I like that. Maybe you can extend it, and there's a way that you could have 2 pods. The soundproof pod, you put the kid in, you know, and they get
Yeah,
some sort of amusement, and then you can
that's a great
crash
idea.
out alongside. I don't know.
Yeah, great
It must
idea.
be something we can do with modern technology.
Yeah, love that. Anyway, what are you looking to do this week? Sounds like you're going away again, Paul.
Yeah, this week, fascinating week. So there's some important wrap up from the workshops I was doing this week. I was in 3 days of workshops, two in Switzerland, one in London. I've got follow through on that, you know, to help a big team land their new organization structure and strategy and operating model. So that will be fascinating. And then, as I think I may have alluded to, I'm away on holiday, but I think there's going to be an element of working away from home as well, because I need to put the finishing touches to a marketing masterclass I'm running in Madrid the week after next. So it's going to be another sort of full on. My plan is to chill out a bit in
Yeah,
July and August. But you know, best laid
nice.
plans. So I'm going to try and deliver on that. But I'm saying it without feeling fully confident. But that's the plan.
Love that.
What about you? Going to Butlins to get some
No,
fun?
going to Butlins. Yeah, going to Butlins.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
we sent them a letter about my rage. No, this week. So yeah, I've got the judging. Just
yeah.
wrapping that up. Next week is the actual day itself. So looking forward to that. It's always a really good day because you get in a room with other fellow marketers
Free
from
lunch?
all different parts of the sphere,
Yeah,
marketing sphere.
yeah.
So it's just really good to be in a room, hearing lots of ideas and meeting different people and hearing their thoughts on marketing. Actually, so I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to that.
but I assume that, you know, as the senior marketer in the room, you'll be the one leading the opinions.
Yeah, well, this is my 4th year doing it now.
Exactly.
So, you know, when you first go into it, you're sort of a bit timid about expressing your views. And now, hopefully, I'm at the point where, you know, I'll be leading the charge.
Yes, and of course, I assume you'll be expecting samples from all the nominated organizations and categories to
Yeah.
help you form a more objective judgment.
And yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That would be the dream, wouldn't it? Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think of what my ideal kind of sample from which brand
Yeah,
would be.
like dog food
Yeah.
and some stomachache products. Yeah, that's not what you want probably.
Let's just hope there's no one from the marketing team at Butlins. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It'd be good to talk about that on the next pod. Talk through.
Yeah, we'll have loads to talk about. I will. Will I be? Yeah, I think I might be in Madrid, so we might do it when I get back from there. But I'll be. In fact, it'll be just before we debut on stage as a double
Exactly.
act, Laurel and Hardy Mark II.
Yeah, exactly. What a combo.
Yeah,
What a combo. The world's not ready yet, Paul.
yeah. So maybe we can do a report from the conference and
I think we should.
yeah, live report.
I think we should do a live stream after we've done it, or maybe before and after.
Okay,
Give
do it.
the viewers what they want.
Yeah, I'll get my 5G card sorted out.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Well, thanks, Paul. Good to chat, and have
Likewise.
a good week.
Yeah, have a cracking weekend and just tame that anger.
Yeah, we'll do. All the best, Paul. Thank you.